This particular project was commissioned by the BBC, a Charles Dickens unfinished novel called The Mystery of Edwin Drood. Now, working from the drawings which the BBC sent through, they also sent us through some visual reference, which is always quite helpful, and they wanted them to look really old, as if there's some kind of age gone on, but they did want them in polystyrene so they can move them around quite easily. Although they want them to look really heavy and realistic at the end of the day, we're actually creating them from polystyrene and we're making them hollow, and then we're going to create a kind of plaster finish to the surface to give it some kind of gravitas and weight. We are carving in the details on the corners and anything that needs kind of artistic merit, and then we'll plaster and foam them on. This is always the best part of the work for me, and as a sculptor this is most enjoyable. Once we have finished the polystyrene forms, then we give it a total render with a kind of concrete and plaster finish. This gives it a kind of nice sort of sandstone look about it and loses the polystyrene surface itself. All of this takes time as it shows up all the little marks and nicks and knocks within the polystyrene surface, but it gets there in the end. Now, as regards in the text or the script on the front of the tomb, I am actually heating up a little tool here and I'm burning the texture within the polystyrene before I paint it. Now here I'm painting it. I'm using a kind of a splash technique, and I'm using several colours and several directions just to give it a kind of really organic feel about it. Now, although we have plenty of light within this studio and it's relatively good, we like to get them outside to see them in a natural environment, and this is how they're going to look on set. Although they looked alright, we decided to add a little more stress and weathering to them, a little bit of bird poo and kind of dampness to the whole thing to give them a little bit more age and decrepit about them. Now, these sort of props for films and television and stage are ideal mainly in polystyrene, as they're relatively quick to make and they're relatively cost effective, and they can be thrown away and disposed of quite easily without too much hassle. Also, an added advantage is 1 or 2 people can move these around quite easily. They can be repaired on site and transported quite comfortably. Thank you very much to the BBC for entrusting Sculpture Studios to undertake the work.